Time Lab students, Mrs. Danto here, your school counselor. Well, for this summer. We're back with our third lesson in our summer social emotional learning series. Remember, that just means we're learning skills that are gonna make us a better learner, better friend, and a better part of our community. That's some good stuff right there. Now, the last few weeks, we've been talking about ways that you can overcome negative, hurtful, hard thoughts and feelings that you have about yourself. Improving our self-esteem, working on your perseverance. And today, we're gonna learn about a skill that's gonna make you a great learner, a great friend, and definitely a really good part of your community. And it's a skill that sometimes isn't super fun to talk about because it can be really hard for some kids. It can be really hard for some adults, and that is self-control. What's self-control? I mean, self-control is pretty much what it sounds like. Controlling your body, your words, actions, so that you can make smart choices. Doesn't make any sense yet? Probably not. Let's think of it like this. We've been talking a little bit about the game of life these last few weeks. Skills that would make you a winner in this game of life. How about we talk about some other games? Anybody play video games?
Oh yeah, Mario time.
Minecraft.
Hi.
Fortnite. Mario. Mario's where it's at, you guys. Any of these still popular? I really don't know because I don't play a lot of video games. Anyways, video games are usually something that's pretty popular with kids. Chances are you play a lot of them or you know somebody in your family who maybe plays a lot of them. Now, whether you play your video game on an iPad, a tablet, a PlayStation, an Xbox, an old school Nintendo, every game has something that you use to control your character. Most of the time, you have some kind of game controller. Now, when you think about the game controller, when you're playing your video game, every button does something different, and every button does something that controls the character that you're playing. Now, if you gave me that game controller, I have no idea what the buttons do, and I'm gonna do a really bad job on that game because I don't know how to use any of those buttons. I have to practice using that controller. Until I have practice, my character's probably just jumping around in circles. Or like that one time that I played Minecraft, my character just dug a hole and kept digging a hole. And then I just got stuck and I didn't know what to do. Self-control's a little bit like that game controller. We all have the ability to control ourselves, to control the words that we say, to control the way that we treat other people, to control our actions. But if we never use any of those skills, we don't really know how to use that controller very well. So today I thought it was pretty important that I teach you how to use your self-control controller every day. Our body has thoughts and ideas of things that we want to do, but we don't need to do or say all of them. Sometimes we have to control ourselves. We have to have self-control. I can't just do every thought that comes into my head. Same is true when you're at home or at school. You can't do everything that you think of doing. You can't say every little thought that comes into your head. You have to be able to slow yourself down and think about, is this helpful or hurtful? How do you do that? How do you have good self-control? I'm so glad you asked, because I got a few pointers for you. Every day in life can feel a little bit like a video game. How can you make the best choice? What can you do to win this level? Whose help do you need to help you defeat something really hard? And also, what choices should I make that are gonna help me be successful? And what choices might I make that don't really help me so much? These are all important parts of learning how to have self-control. Having good self-control could really help you at school. Should I speak while my teacher's speaking? Should I push the kid who's standing in front of me when I need to get to the water fountain?
That's no good.
So I made a little controller over here. And here are a few buttons that you're gonna need on your self-control controller. Being control that many times in a row is hard. The first button that you need on your controller is pause. Yeah, like stop. Our mind and our body can move really, really, really fast sometimes. And when we're moving fast or thinking too fast, we don't usually make choices that help us. In fact, we usually make choices that hurt us or others. When we want to make sure that we're showing good self-control or being in control of our body and our words, we have to learn to pause. Hit that pause button on your controller. Now, when we pause, there are a few important things that we have to do. The first thing that we do when we pause is think. You're gonna think about consequences. You guys know that word? Consequence is just another way of saying, what's gonna happen if I do this? We can have good consequences and there can be negative consequences too. For example, if I decide that I need to speed in my car to get to school faster, I might want to pause and think about the consequences. A good consequence is maybe I could get to school faster. A bad consequence, though, is I could hurt somebody, I could hurt myself, I could get a ticket. Seems like the bad consequences are kind of a lot. So now that I paused and I thought about my decision, I realized maybe I need to just drive the speed limit. That's the safe option. That's gonna help me the most, and that's gonna help others. We all have to practice this every single day of our lives. It's kind of like you're living a live action video game. You're gonna pause, stop your body, stop your words, and you're gonna think. This button on your controller can make you so successful. Trust me. In fact, let's try it out a little bit. Let's pause and think about these situations and tell me what you think you should do. Situation number 1. The person next to you in class answered the teacher's question and they gave a super ridiculous answer. You really, really want to laugh at what they just said. You're gonna hit that pause button and think about the consequences. You laugh at your classmate, what could happen? Their feelings could get hurt. You could get in trouble. People might not want to play with you that much if you're laughing at other people. Okay, so think. Should I do that? Probably not. So, you take a deep breath. I'm not gonna laugh at that person. Not a good choice. That's self-control. That's what we want to demonstrate at school, at home, and out in our community. Okay, let's try another one. Really work that pause button. You're feeling really embarrassed because you don't know how to do the paper that your teacher just handed out in class. And you're thinking about saying something silly in class to make your classmates laugh so that nobody knows you're having a tough time on your paper. Hit that pause button. Now think about the consequences. If I say something really funny in class, instead of asking for help, what's gonna happen to me? Well, I'm still not gonna get my paper done. It could really bother my classmates. Probably not a great way to get help for what I need. So I think I'm going to raise my hand and ask for help instead. That is self-control. Instead of making a choice that hurt me, I paused, thought about consequences, and made a choice that would help me. Let's try another one. Get that pause button ready. Your class is outside at recess. You are so good at gymnastics, but there's a rule that you're not supposed to jump off the top of the monkey bars. However, you know you're super good at gymnastics. So you're sitting on top of the monkey bars, thinking about jumping off the top of them. Let's hit that pause button, like right away. Okay, we've paused, stopped our body, stopped our words. Let's think. If I jump off the top of these monkey bars, what could happen? Number 1, I could definitely hurt my body. Number 2, it's definitely not following the rules. I don't know. I mean, I think this one's pretty obvious. I think maybe I should just come off the monkey bars the way you're supposed to. That's it. That's how you pause yourself, stop and think, and show self-control and make great choices. The pause button is so important every single day. You can use it basically anywhere. The thing about using your pause button is you're gonna freeze your body, freeze those words, and think really hard about what could happen if I do this. It takes practice. Try it out these next few days. Maybe even let a grown-up in your life know that you tried using your pause button. Okay, that's one button we can use to help us grow our self-control. Remember, that's just controlling your body and your words and your thoughts so that you can make good, healthy choices for yourself. Another button up on my controller, when you feel like your body is getting out of control, maybe your words are getting out of control, and you're thinking about all these consequences that might not be good, one of my buttons on my controller, deep breathing. That's right, as simple as that. Take some deep breaths. Now, I sometimes see kids take deep breaths like this. That is not the way we do deep breaths. When we take deep breaths, we take our hands and place them on our stomach, and we breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. I like to call it a cookie breath because I imagine it like this. I'm smelling the smell of a fresh baked cookie, and then I'm cooling it off. Try it with me. Breathe in through your nose and out your mouth. By taking deep breaths, we can calm our bodies, calm our thoughts, so that we're able to pause and make good choices and show self-control. Another button on my remote control, pushing my hands together. I know, sounds kind of weird, but sometimes when we're out of control, our muscles are out of control. So by putting our hands together, we'll push those muscles together, push them. I mean it, like right now. And then we're gonna let go. Shake those hands out. Let's try it again. Push those hands together, squeeze those muscles. Now release. When we do this, it helps us be in control of our muscles and our body. It's a cool trick, and it actually works. Time for my next button on my remote control. This one is super important, and it's just a simple piece of self-talk that says, it's okay, I can wait. Sometimes when we're having trouble with self-control, we really want something. Maybe we want to be first in line. Maybe we want to be the first one done with a test. Maybe we want to be the first one out to recess. Maybe we want to be the first one done with lunch. When we feel our body starting to get out of control like that, press that button and tell yourself, hey, it's okay, I can wait. This is a simple tool that we can use anywhere, all the time. You can even use it when you're sitting in the classroom. Just think it in your head. Be the teachers calling on students to answer a question, and you really know the answer. Pick me. Press that button and tell yourself in your head, it's okay, I can wait. This helps teach our brain to wait. Be patient. Your turn is coming soon. The last button on my remote control is a super important one because it's how we tell somebody what it is that we need, and that's using an iMessage. If you want a much longer video on how to use iMessages, check out some of these old videos of mine. But in short, an iMessage is a way that we tell an adult or a friend what it is that we need, and it starts with the words, I feel. So let's say I'm having a really hard time with self-control with one of my friends because every day at recess they pick the game and I never get to pick first, ever. Instead of going up to my friend and saying, you're so rude, I don't even want to be your friend anymore. That is not good self-control. I can remember to push the button on my controller and go to my friend and say something like this. I feel really frustrated when I don't get to choose the game. Would it be okay if I choose the game tomorrow?
You did it!
Self-control is something we have to practice, just like when you play your video game. Get those controllers out and think about ways that you can use your self-control. Maybe it's during a sport that you play after school. Maybe it's during school. Maybe some of you need to use your self-controller with your brother and sister. And if you try any of these tricks out and they work for you, make sure to let me know when you see me. I love to hear all the ways that you're using these skills to become a better friend and learner. Well, that's all the self-control tricks I got for you today. I need to practice self-control with stopping at Dunkin' Donuts. It's okay, I can wait. And as always, just a reminder to each and every single one of you watching, you belong, you matter, you are worthy. I'll see you one last time for our final lesson in our summer social emotional learning series.